Yeah, positive YouTube 6 foot hacks here. Got for you guys today the team building video for week 5 of the UCL. This will probably be going up either late Friday or before our match on Saturday. Now, if you may have missed the video I uploaded before this, which was a little promo for this match, which is going live at 4 p.m. I think that's kind of become the standard for me. I don't really care when the videos go live. Actually, if you guys have a time preference, and I guess you can let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, if you may have missed that little promo video, a link to that should be on your screen and in the description. Check that out. It's like 2.5 minutes long. I thought that was pretty fun. Pretty funny. But yeah, this is by far our toughest week. We are facing the Real Marill. We are facing Miguel Megamogwai, a former GBA champion, if I'm not mistaken. I think he actually beat Dan. I think not this season, but the season before that one. But yeah, and I think he's in the playoffs of the GBA this season again, and he beat Joey. No offense by this, but I feel like Miguel was in control of the whole game. I think Joey was on the back for the entire match, but still a good game between the two. But he managed to beat Joey, which Joey, of course, was the Season 1 champion. So hopefully we will be able to end that winning streak of Miguel, or we will have our second loss. So let's get into the team. First off, we have Vicente the Victini, we have Swagalith the Sigalith making his return, unfortunately in Season 2. No, not Season 2. Was it Week 2 that we used him in? Yeah, it was our match against Luke. It might have been Week 2. In Week 2, unfortunately, he was not able to win us the game, but hopefully this time he can redeem himself and we won't get too badly hacked against Miguel. Then we have Horsepower the Terrakion, we have Tortuga the Mega Blastoise, we have Moonshine the Clefable, and finally Tranquilo the Crocodile. So as you can see here, I had to fix these on Victini here. But first off, we have Victini. Victini is actually quite a huge threat to Miguel's team, and obviously actually hold on, I should probably get into his threats. This is actually my fault. I forgot to pull up his team. I know you guys can see it on your screen, but I can't see it on mine just yet. So Miguel's team is absolutely terrifying. Of course, if he brings Sticky Web, that is going to be a huge issue. Although we do have a Rapid Spinner and a Defogger, there is a slight little percent chance that he may not even run Sticky Web, which would be absolutely amazing because that's one giant thing we wouldn't have to worry about. Another huge threat that Miguel has is Mamoswine. Now, our draft has a huge flaw in it, has a huge weakness, and that is the fact that ground type moves could utterly destroy us if not played around correctly. Even though, yes, we do have Swellow, we have Shaman. Those are our only two, along with Sigalith, which makes 3. Our only 1 resist and our 2 immunities that don't want to switch into Mamoswine. Or that don't generally want to switch into another Pokemon who has Earth as their stab move's coverage, if you get what I'm trying to say. So Mamoswine is easily the hugest threat on Miguel's team. That's another main reason why I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to bring Sticky Web, and so was Ellis. Again, shout out to Ellis. His Twitter link will be down in the description. Our partner in crime for these teams that are used in the UCL matches. So yeah, also shout out to Kaio Ken, my boy Kenny, for genning my mons for these matches. Check him out as well. So yeah, Mamoswine is a humongous huge threat to us. Like this, it literally like 12-0s us if you could bring all 12 Pokemon. But no, Mamoswine just destroys our entire draft. So obviously that's definitely something he's gonna want to bring. Actually, I forgot that I had this and I was going to use it for the live. But basically, this is what I'm pretty sure Miguel is going to bring. Now, you guys know, if you've seen all my previous team building videos, this is something I haven't shown before. This is something that, these are the first 5 Pokemon me and Ellis are 90% sure he's going to bring. The last mon can just be a real toss-up between either Regirock, Megalotti, or Klefki if he wants to hazard stack. The reason being is, first off, as I said, Mamoswine, huge threat. This thing destroys us. Even if you look at the team, we have no switch-ins. Luckily though, the whole team outspeeds Mamoswine or can take a hit from Mamoswine, so we can force him out hopefully, and then go from there. I think he can outspeed Terrakion if webs are up, but that's about it. He can't OHKO Clefable, he can't OHKO Blastoise, he actually cannot even, an Adamant Life Orbed Ice Shard does not OHKO a max HP Sigilyph, which is absolutely crazy, because I definitely think that's going to come and play during this match. But the main reason for the main reason for Victini here is with Air Balloon to be able to check his Mamoswine, because if he does have webs up, let's say we lose Terrakion, he has in Mamoswine, we just bring in Victini, we don't have to worry about the webs, he's forced to either stay in and sack Mamoswine, or switch out into something to take a hit from, either to potentially get OHKO'd, 2 KO'd, burned, or even paralyzed, or we can predict and gain momentum with U-turn. That's why Victini is actually such a huge threat to him in this match. If you look at his draft, with a proper prediction, Victini can actually really tear Miguel apart. And again, this is what I'm 90% sure is going to bring these first 5 Pokemon here. Mamoswine, because it's just a huge offensive threat to us. Gourgeist, because this is literally his only Pokemon that can take on Terrakion. This is the only thing that switches in to Terrakion's dual stab. Plus, he can kind of check Victini. If we recreate, then he can come in and Shadow Sneak us. He can burn Druddigon, Registeel. He can chew a knockoff from Crocodile. So that's pretty impressive. Actually no, Zebstrika can beat this 1v1 because I play enough PU to know that now. But yeah, this is also the set that I'm pretty sure he's going to want to bring, because this is all the essential moves that Gourgeist really needs against us. I don't really know what else he would bring, what else he would change up, but yeah, just he probably would have some speed. The EVs aren't so important. It's more of the mons that I'm trying to show you guys. Next off, for us, we have Swaglyph here, Sigilyph. The main reason for this is because the coverage that Sigilyph has on Miguel's team is absolutely amazing. Much like Victini, this can potentially destroy anything that Miguel has. We can, we can Psychic this, we can Heat Wave this, Ice Beam this, Psychic this, Heat Wave, Klefki, Ice Beam, switching in Latios. Tailwind is also a huge thing, because if he does have webs up, let's say he's about to knock out Sigilyph, I can get up the Tailwind, bring in Terrakion that may be affected by the webs, and then outspeed whatever mon is across the field, or I can bring in Tortuga and Rapid Spin and get rid of the webs for the rest of my team. So I really think Sigilyph is going to play a huge role in this match as well. Again, the main thing about Miguel's draft is that he doesn't have any form of removing status. Like, anytime I'm able to potentially Thunder Wave something or Toxic it, then it's going to be status for the remainder of the match. That's the first thing I noticed from his draft. But from further looking at it, much like I mentioned, with the proper prediction, Victini and Sigilyph can really pick apart Miguel's team depending on what 6 he wants to bring. So again, this could be Klefki or this could be Latios, and then you could have rocks on Mamoswine. Who knows? Or he may not even bring Mamoswine. The main reason why I think he's going to bring Regirock or Klefki over Megalotti is because we have Swellow. Swellow outspeeds his entire draft except for... No. Do we outspeed? No, I think Tornadus does outspeed Swellow, I think by a few points. But minus Tornadus, Swellow literally outspeeds his entire draft. Also, Floatzel. outspeeds us. But I don't think he's going to bring Float though, because I'm pretty positive he's going to want to bring Tentacruel, getting into Tentacruel. I'm pretty sure he's going to want to bring Tentacruel because we do have Clefable. It can kind of take on Shaman, I guess. It can burn Registeel potentially. It can stay in and kind of 1v1 Skunk Tank if he's able to burn us. It can 1v1 Druddigon if he has Ice Beam potential, even Acid Spray. But the main reason why I think he's going to want to bring it is because it's a form of getting rid of hazards, and he could also have Acid Spray for Calm Mind Clefable, which we have brought before, which actually does pretty much destroy his team once the correct checks are gone. So Tentacruel is another definite mon I'm really sure he's going to want to bring. If he doesn't bring it, then I guess he could bring something like Mega Lottie over, but I'm pretty sure he's going to want to bring some type of hazard removal, having Mamoswine and Tornadus. Yes, Tornadus does have Regenerator. It still would be nice for him to have it. Latios doesn't have recovery, so he could... no, what am I talking about? It doesn't have leftovers recovery, sorry. So Rocks could wear it down and force him to roost sooner in the match. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to want to bring Tentacruel. Tornadus is just something I'm really positive he's going to want to bring because Tornadus is absolutely amazing. This is a really, really good mon in Draft League format. Life Orb 3 attacks is what I'm pretty sure he's going to want to bring. Sludge Wave because it does hit Clefable. Although he wouldn't have to run Sludge Wave. I'm pretty sure he'll have Hurricane, obviously because Stab. Taunt to stop us from T-Waving or Calm Minding with Clefable, or wanting to set up Rocks with Registeel or try to T-Wave him. What else? I guess maybe try to Rocks with Druddigon, maybe Defog with Skunk Tank. So if he's going to run Taunt, he can't run AV, which means he most likely may run Life Orb, which Modest Life Orb would be a tad bit annoying. Sigilyph actually does not get O-Code by any move from Tornadus, I think, unless he's Life Orb. Max Special Attack Hurricane only has a 18% chance to OHKO from max HP if necessary. Also, unless he's Life Orb Max Attack Knockoff, then unless it's a roll in his favor, he can't knock us out in any one hit. So if worst comes to worst, we can maybe chew a hit, Tailwind or Ice Beam, or Tailwind then Ice Beam, and then go from there. But yeah, pretty positive he's going to want to bring Tornadus. If not Sludge Wave or Heat Wave, he may have Superpower just to hit Registeel a little bit harder. It doesn't learn Roost, which is absolutely amazing, so hopefully I can keep up Rocks throughout this match, and that will be able to wear this thing down. So it would kind of make sense if he does want to bring Leftovers as opposed to Life Orb, but it's fine. Tornadus is something that we should kind of be able to deal 1v1. Clefable is our main way to deal with it, as it will be able to switch into any moves, and unless he gets two two literally absolute max damage rolls with Hurricane, he cannot knock us out. I think there's only like a 3% chance that he knocks out Clefable with our spread. So moving on, we got Horsepower, Terrakion, which originally was actually Stone Plate and Earthquake, I think. But after thinking about it, we changed it up. And if he does want to bring Galvantula, because again, Sticky Web is what he's mostly been bringing in his matchups. Also, one thing to note from Miguel, and this is going to kind of get into the EV spreads a bit. Actually, yeah, the speed EVs on Victini are to outspeed Mamoswine, and so are Sigilyph speed EVs. Terrakion is just max speed to be able to hopefully speed tie and win a speed tie against the Galvantula, which I'm pretty sure he's going to want to lead with if he brings it. So he leads Galvantula, I lead Terrakion. Whether he wins the speed tie or not doesn't matter next turn, because he's going to get up webs regardless, most likely, and then we're going to be able to Rock Tomb, which for those of you who don't know what Rock Tomb does, I don't blame you, but it has a 100% chance to lower the target's speed by 1, which means the following turn we will be able to outspeed the Galvantula, and then from there it's kind of a prediction game, because if he wants to be able to save Galvantula to get up webs and potentially get off a huge hit on Crocodile, Blastoise, and even Victini or Sigilyph later in the match, then he's going to have to switch out into his only switch-in, which is Gourgeist. So in that case, we can go for the Toxic and Toxic the incoming Gourgeist, and then again, he doesn't have any way to get rid of status. unless he has Lumberry, of course, then that means Gourgeist is going to be weakened for the remainder of the match, making it even easier for us to beat 1v1. And after Sticky Webs, Terrakion is still faster than Gourgeist, so if it comes down to it later in the match, we're going to get webbed. We can outspeed the Gourgeist and Stone Edge it, not miss, of course, and knock it out. So that's kind of the idea behind the set. There's not really too much to say about the EVs because I'll just standard .jpeg, but yeah, that's the main reason why we have Rock Tomb and Toxic. Also, Toxic is just kind of nice for switching in Gourgeist later in the match if he does want to bring it in. Again, if he does bring Klefki, then he could switch in Klefki on our Stone Edge, so of course that's going to be running through my mind because I'm not in Stone Edge. Well, Stone Edge and Toxic really, but that's another reason why we do have Lumberry. If he wants to sack off Galvantula to try and T-Wave us, then we have the Lum, it dies off the Toxic. Or we just outspeed it next turn. If he wants to try and T-Wave us with Klefki, we get off a huge hit with Close Combat, and then we just go from there. So moving down the line, we have Mega Blastoise here, which has enough speed to outspeed Mamoswine, borrowing the fact that he is running, I believe, like 122 speed or 123 speed, which outspeeds Zebstrika after webs, which we could bring Zebstrika. There's a chance we could bring Zebstrika because I don't think he really has a solid ground type outside of Mamoswine, so once that's gone, we could just Volt Switch on his whole team. So I'm pretty sure, if anything, he's going to run, well, Ellis was more sure about this, and then he told me, and then after looking into it more, yes, I'm pretty sure he's just going to run enough speed, because if you paid attention to Miguel's team building videos, he does just run enough speed to outspeed that certain Pokemon after webs, so this is what we're kind of hoping he'll do again in this matchup. So he should be running about 123 to like 125 speed, so that would allow Mega Blastoise to outspeed if webs are gone, and in return we can Rapid Spin or Scald, and even if we were max defense, max HP Mega Blastoise, Mamoswine is still going to 2 KO us. So we decided, or Ellis decided, to go with a more offensive spread to be able to nab KOs. Ice Beam is, I believe, a 2 KO on Gourgeist regardless of the spread, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be running physically defensive anyways. Then we have Scald to just burn everything. Tentacruel could be a little bit annoying, but Tentacruel literally just allows me to Rapid Spin, and the sooner I can get rid of webs, then the better for the remainder of my team. So it would be a losing situation for him regardless of whether he would want to leave in Tentacruel or predict me to Rapid Spin or not. But yeah, Earthquake hits Klefki, and I think it hits, not Regirock, it hits Klefki and Tentacruel harder than what Dark Pulse would do. So yeah, we're not minus defense or minus Def Nature because obviously we want to be able to chew a hit from Medicham or Exploud. See, another route that he could go, and this is, I don't know, I'm not leaning more towards this route, but he could go more aggressive. Like, he could bring Exploud and Medicham and Emboar, but I really don't see him doing that. He could also maybe bring Floatzel, so that would be kind of cool. Maybe he could bring like Floatzel Megalotti or Floatzel Clefable as his last 2 mons, but I don't know. I'm 90% sure that these are the 5 mons he's going to bring, and then it's kind of a toss-up between the last, whether he wants Hazards, or he wants a late setup mon, or a potential switch into Victini, or Hazard stacking, or being able to have a 4th move on Mamoswine. I repeated one of those twice, I know. But yeah, if he doesn't have Regirock, then he'll have to have Rocks on Mamoswine, which means he would lose Icicle Crash or Ice Shard as his coverage move, or he could just not even have Knockoff, which I'm absolutely fine with, because then Victini would be an absolutely safe switch in to this thing at that point. So yeah, that's the main reason why I think he's going to want to bring all these mons. I'm pretty sure I've gone through them all already. I don't do that normally for team building videos, but this is a very important match, I think, so I want to give you guys more of an in-depth thought process. Hopefully y'all follow me. But yeah, moving down the line, we have good old Moonshine. I think Clefable's come to like 4 out of 5 weeks so far of the UCL. This thing is absolutely amazing, minus being critted week 2. Oh, I still have, I should have switched. I even said in the video I can switch here and set up later, and I didn't do it, and that still haunts me to this day because we could also be undefeated going up against another undefeated team. But it's okay, because Clefable can redeem herself come this match. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, CM Clefable can potentially just destroy Miguel. Again, another reason why I think he's going to want to bring Taunt Tornadus and Acid Spray Tentacruel, both of which just stop Clefable in its tracks. He could also bring Klefki for this reason, because it is a steel type and he may not think that we'll be running a fire type move, but then he would be absolutely too weak to Victini, so then Victini would just steamroll him. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say here? Basically, I mentioned this already, depending on his last mon determines on how we will be able to pick his team apart. It will determine what mon is most important, because Victini and Sigalith already deal with his first 5 mons. It's just that last mon that we have to see to determine how exactly we will hopefully win the match. So yeah, that's also a reason why we don't have Calm Mind on Clefable. This is able to hit Tentacruel and Tornadus. We can hit Mamoswine for good damage with Moonblast. Same thing for Regirock, Galvantula, Gourgeist even. Gourgeist can literally do nothing to us. Like, Gourgeist does absolutely nothing to us. We just T-Wave Gourgeist and we just go from there. And I'm going to say this right now, one of my main plans going into this match is to just spread paralysis everywhere. We can T-Wave Regirock, we can T-Wave Tentacruel, we can T-Wave Tornadus, we can T-Wave Gourgeist, we can T-Wave Latios, we can T-Wave Floatzel. That's basically my main idea. Again, another reason why I think he's really going to bring Taunt Tornadus. Oh, if he brings Assault Vest Tornadus, I'm going to be a little bit upset, but kind of happy, because AV Tornadus is actually a lot easier for us to deal with. And we just literally spam Thunder Wave. But yeah, just double offensive moves with Moonblast and Thunder Wave, Thunderbolt, sorry, and then Thunder Wave as our status move to be able to paralyze everything, and then Soft Bolt, of course, because recovery. This EV spread allows for Clefable to be able to take 2 Mega Latios's Psyshocks. It only has a 1.2% chance to 2 KOs, and then if he has Life Orb Tornadus with max special attack, then he only has a 3.1% chance to 2 KOs with Hurricane. So we can switch in, eat 1 after leftovers, unless he got absolute max damage that first roll and then gets absolute max damage the second roll. And then by the grace of Arceus, he hits the second Hurricane and gets that max damage roll. Then that's the only way he will be able to take down Clefable. So regardless, rolls are in our favor going into this match. But hey, you never know. Bad Luck Leo could show up. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And then finally off, this I think is actually the coolest Pokemon on this team. We have Tranquilo the Crocodile rocking an Adamant Nature Choice Scarf with Stealth Rocks. Yes, let that sink in for a moment. I would never in my life use this in competitive, quote-unquote competitive play, but I trust Ellis, and I think he trusts my playing abilities enough to be able to use this correctly. But even if we're not able to get up rocks, that shouldn't be too big of an issue, but I will try to get them up, obviously, so we can wear down the Tornadus, Mamoswine, Gourgeist, knock out eventually even, and just go from there. But hopefully we won't reveal to him early on in the match that we're Scarf, so we can get up rocks, and he may force us out, and then we can just bring back in Crocodile. He'll think that Mamoswine cannot speed Crocodile because he is affected by the waves, but no, we outspeed him, and then we knock him out with the knockoff, and then another scenario, if he's at low enough HP, we can just Pursuit Trap him. This also allows us to outspeed Latios and Tornadus. Tornadus should have enough speed to outspeed Zebstrika, if anything, if he wants to go with a little bit of bulk on Tornadus. So after Sash, after Scarf, we do have enough speed to outspeed Tornadus, barring the fact that there are no webs up, and then Knockoff can just destroy him. And another huge flaw that Miguel's team has is that he has no reliable knockoff switching. Yes, he has a Klefki. Yes, he has an Emboar. I have a Crocodile that knows Earthquake. Crocodile is probably going to be our late game win condition going into this match. Basically, Victini and Sigalith are going to be there to break his team down, just wear them down. Hopefully I can find an opportunity to rapid spin, because Blastoise can spin on, if it's at full HP, it can spin on Mamoswine, it can spin on Lottie too, and it can spin on Tornadus. Basically, as long as we're full HP, we should be able to spin on one of his mons. We can spin on Tentacruel, we can spin on Regirock, we can spin on Mamoswine, we can spin on Tornadus, like I said. So this is also why I'm kind of thinking he may not even bring webs. Like I mentioned this earlier, there is a slight chance he may not bring webs. But if he doesn't bring them, then hey, that's absolutely amazing, because that's one huge factor we don't have to worry about. But then the problem with that is that we over prepared for webs, and then he may have brought something like a Floatzel, or he may have brought something like a Scarfed or Specs Medicham, not Specs Medicham, Specs Exploud, or something like that. But at that point, it's just kind of adapting to what he brought. But I'm still very positive that he's gonna bring Mamoswine, Gourgeist, Tornadus, and Tentacruel, because those four still deal with a majority of my draft and what I could potentially bring. So I guess if you want to break it down even further, it's more of a toss-up between these last two mons or even these last three mons. Again, the further you get into it, but I don't know. There is a chance he may not bring webs, but there is more of a chance he may, I want to say. But hey, you never know. You have to wait and find out. So yeah, Crocodile here did originally have about 126 speed, which again is enough to outspeed Mamoswine if he's running enough speed to outspeed Zebstrika after webs. But me being a little bit paranoid, I decided to change up the EVs. I let Ellis know, and I put enough speed to outspeed Adamant Mamoswine with max speed, just in case he thinks we're gonna creep him, because we expect him to creep. So he could just run max speed on Mamoswine, that way he outspeeds our mon that is supposed to be creeping Mamoswine, that we thought he would not have max speed, because after webs he would outspeed Zebstrika, if you follow that. But yeah, that's basically the idea behind the EV spread. And Adamant max attack knockoff, just this is probably going to be the most spammed move in this match, because again, he has no reliable dark type switching, and we have two really great dark types in the form of Skuntank and Crocodile. So yeah, another reason why he may want to bring Regirock as opposed to Klefki, because we do have Skuntank. Regirock can kind of take it on. He can Earthquake it if he wants to run Earthquake as opposed to Drain Punch. I just assume Drain Punch because it does hit Regirock, Registeel as well, and gets him recovery. But yeah, this is the reason why he may want to bring Regirock, as well as being his only check to swallow. Like, well, Klefki is a check to swallow, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, guys, that is the team. I apologize if this was a little bit lengthy. Like I said, I don't normally show what I think my opponent is going to bring, but because Miguel is a pretty much seasoned, I guess you could say seasoned veteran in League format, or he's really good in League format, then I wanted to prepare more and focus more than I have on my previous matches, because this is our toughest match to date for the Durham Druddigons, and hopefully we will win and end the winning streak of the Real Marill with this awesome team that we have prepared for him. But yeah, guys, that will be going up tomorrow at 4 p.m. We have one hell of a fight in store for us, so prepare to see who wins, and hopefully it'll be a really, really good match, because I think a lot of people think that we won't be able to pull out the W, but that's just more motivation, baby. We're gonna win and we will definitely make it to the playoffs and win season 2 of the UCL if all goes right. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you are excited for the Durham Druddigons to end the winning streak of the Real Marill, and if you think we can be the champions of Season 2 of the UCL. So yeah guys, check out all the links down below. With that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow at 4 p.m. with this match. So later everybody.